So you live over here, the property you want to invest in is over here, and there's 100 miles in between. How do you buy a property in an area you don't live in? Property used to be this thing that the rich can only invest in property and you have to invest in your area, do not scattergun geographically. But actually, both is kind of bullshit nowadays because of the rise of technology. Technology has allowed people to get access to property investments anywhere in the world. Well, let's stick to the UK for now. But also the access to finance that has come along with technology has meant that the average Joe, just like you, just like me, can actually invest and create financial freedom without limitations. The first thing we need to look at is location. There's a few things we want to consider within this. Number one is the price. Number two is the logistics in the area and what does it look like on the street. So let's first of all sort out the pricing structure. First thing you need to look at is what sort of cash do you have available in your pocket right now, specifically the bank or soon to be in the bank. If you've only got 20, 30,000 pounds, can you invest in property? Yes, it's going to be bloody tight, but you're really looking at a 70 to 80,000 pound property. Anything less than that, by the way, probably not worth looking at because you're not going to be able to get good mortgages on them, if any at all. But let's say you've got that money, you're not going to be buying a 3-bed house in London anytime soon. You're going to end up having to look more than likely in the northeast for that. If you've got 40 to 50,000, you're almost definitely better looking in, well, my favourite area is West Yorkshire, if not Liverpool or Nottingham are other two great areas, and looking at where your financial burden can take place. Something to factor in is the median price or the average price of a property in your area. At the time of filming right now, the average property price is over 290, that's 290,000 pounds for the average property in the UK. So if you've got 290,000 in the middle, let's say you're on the right side of it, which is 250,000, that's a good thing because it's more than likely going to increase the price closer to the 290,000. And if you're on the wrong side of it, let's say 350,000, if there's any correction or recession in the market, properties this side of the average are going to be impacted the most. Then what you want to do is in your local area, you want to look at that median point and look at where the property prices are on the left or right and make sure you're sticking to the right side of that. The next thing is understanding the location from a tenure of property point of view. Now, if you don't know what tenure of property is, tenure of property, and you can find this ideally on property data, but if you don't want to spend any money, you can find it on streetcheck.co.uk. You can click tenure of property, which is the housing stock in the area. As an average, you want to write down these stats. 30% of the property market is owned outright owner-occupier. 30% is owned with a mortgage owner-occupier. 21% of the available market is a private landlord, and 19% is social housing rentals. The reason this is important isn't the numbers in itself, it's how it tells a story around those averages. For example, if you've got the 30 and 30, 60%, but you look in your area and those two segments account for 73%, you know that is a stronger buying area than average for people to live in. What that likely indicates is a push towards capital growth in the area because there's more demand than supply. Conversely, if there is a situation where there's a much higher social housing, let's say there's 40% instead of the average 19% social housing, that's going to tell you something a little bit negative about the area, who it's attracting, and the unlikely growth that you're going to find in the area. Finally, I know it's a bit old school, but walk the streets. And no, I'm not saying get in your car, drive 100 miles and start walking around. I'm saying Google Maps. Google Maps is absolutely incredible. And yes, you can't smell it and touch it, hear what's going on, but you can see almost everything you would normally see from the photos of the Google cars that have been going around for years and years. A quick tip on this, when you are on Google Maps and you drop the little avatar, if you like, on the street, make sure the photo on the right hand side is as up to date as possible. If you click on the photo, there is a scroll that you can go through and it shows you the year that the photo you're looking at was taken. And you should be able to go back 10 years and all the way up to around 2020 in most areas. So it gives you a really good indication of what's going on around there. And I wouldn't just look at the property, by the way, look at the surrounding area, look at the streets, look at the people, look at the cars. It all builds up a good picture of the area you're thinking to invest in. Next is the numbers. Numbers are your only friend. That's quite sad, isn't it? But it is your only friend in property investment. The numbers don't lie to you. The statistics are statistics for a reason. They are there to give you the best indication of if this is a high demand area or not. So I'm not talking about the numbers as in what's the average price of the property, because obviously you need to understand that. What I'm actually looking for is the demand in property and in terms of a purchase and the demand from a rental point of view. And the best way of looking at this is to jump on Rightmove. What you do is you jump on Rightmove and you search your postcode, and then what's going to happen is you make sure sold subject to contract, which is SSTC, is unticked. And you're going to search your postcode and that's going to come up with a list of available properties. Let's say, for example, there's 50 properties available in this postcode with what you're looking at. Then what you're going to do is you're going to click sold subject to contract, SSTC, and that's going to show all of the properties, including the 50 you just saw, and everything else that has been agreed and is now accepted subject to contract and is in the legal process. Let's say that number is 150. And then what you're going to do is you are going to do an availability check. So you're going to do the 50 over the 150, which is going to give you 33%. And that's telling you how much of the stock is still available. In my experience, anything over 60% of the stock taken in the area, so 40% availability, is a good sign of the demand in the area, which dictates property prices going up over the long term. Let me just be clear. You're doing the availability divided by the availability and the sold subject to contract. This is going to show you as a percentage what's available. You're looking for 60% gone, which means your number should be below 40%. Naturally, with economics, when there's more demand than there is supply, prices go up. The next thing you want to do is the exact same for rental purposes. You're going to search the postcode, find out what's available for rent, and then you're going to click the already rented to contract, and this is going to show you that percentage again. Slightly different here. I'm looking for around 50% availability or less. The reason for this, and the reason why I'm happy for less demand, is that properties that are rented are taken off the market a lot quicker. So a property could go on today, I could agree it in 2 days, and it could be gone in 3 days from that point. So you have to take that with a pinch of salt. But those numbers will give you a really good indication of the social grade, the tenure of property, and the demand for purchase and rentals, which really are some of the key figures that we need to look at as a property investor. Next is refurbishment. Now, this is a little bit harder, but I really like mixing in two types of people you need to build a relationship with. Number one is a property inspector. I strongly recommend Viewber, that is VIEWBER, the viewings of Uber, I would say. And what they're going to do is view properties on your behalf. Now, much like any other company, you're going to have to go around the people that are frankly shit at their job, but there'll also be people that are really good and know how to price up properties. You can pay them, I think it's £25 right now to go to a property and price the whole thing up. At the same time, I would find a good local builder, find somebody that's recommended through a Facebook group, one of the property groups out there, and pay them 30, 40, 50 quid to go and quote for a refurbishment on the property and give them the most guidance possible. The reason I would do this, despite it being costly at the start, is once you've done that 2 or 3 times, you're going to find that the prices marry up really well. And if not, carry on testing new people at Viewber. And eventually you find the one person that can do all of your quotations quotations and you give them the work if they are able to facilitate it. But ultimately, you need to start understanding the prices so that you can put in the correct offers and monetizing property in the best way. Finally, you need to put all of this together into one of your analyzers. Now, I am a massive nerd and I love my spreadsheets, but if you're not, use Lendlord. Lendlord's one of the best. They're actually one of this channel's sponsors. They're not sponsoring today's video, but I honestly think they are absolutely incredible, and their analyzer is one of the best I have ever seen from a piece of software. So jump on, it's completely free. In fact, I'll give them a shout out and put a link below. Seriously, jump on. It is completely free. And no, I'm not getting anything for that. They're not sponsoring this video. But that's really going to help you get geeky and start to love numbers. And ultimately, you need to love these numbers because the more you understand them, the more money you're going to make. To wrap all of this up, you need to think about your power team. Now, the easy way of thinking about this is from start to finish. If you're not able to find the property, you need to find a property sourcer in your area. These are people that you pay a fee to find you the right opportunity. Once you've got that, you need a solicitor. The solicitor is going to do all of the conveyancing work for you to buy the property and then even refinance the property down the line. The next thing you need is a reputable mortgage broker. You want to check they're on the FCA books to make sure they are regulated to give you the best advice possible. Then you're going to need a refurb team, and within that you've got the builders, the brickies, the electricians, the plasterers, the plumbers, the labourers, and a load more, gardeners as well. Then you're going to need your lettings manager for property maintenance and everything, and then again a different type of broker for your insurance. So this isn't a video of breaking down that power team. I'll do some more on that, but you need to start getting your boots on the ground. If you're not going to use your time, you need to start building those key relationships right now. And hey, you are going to have to kiss some frogs before you get to your prince or princess. The best place I would advise finding these people is jump on one of the property Facebook groups, start saying about who you're looking for, who you're looking to find, and start building up that list. And hey, you are going to have to work hard to not have to work hard by building these relationships to set it and forget it from day one. Alternatively, you could use an end-to-end portfolio building service. That's what I do at Aspire Property Group. So if you've got £100,000 or more and you want me to do all of that for you along with my team, put APG in the comments, or I'll put a link in where you can fill in your details. It'll go to a separate page. You fill it in, all of your details. One of my team will have a chat and we'll start building your portfolio so that you can stop working hard for your money and get your money working hard for you. So hopefully this has been valuable. Let me know if there's anything I missed out or any other videos you'd love for me to make. If you are new to the channel and you want to find out more about property investing, make sure to hit the subscribe and the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.